Yo, man, it's almost 4:30. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
This is the social norm.
1, 2. You want top dollar and pop bottles and drop knowledge. Hit the throttle on nice autos without college. Do yourself a solid, put them boys on your screen. Wait, who do you mean? I mean canteen and beans. When the social norm is on, you better pay attention. They teach you lessons, make you laugh when you're stressing. Must I mention that the style is infectious? I gotta have it, I gotta have it. The rapid fire gabbing on my tablet. My boys established a gamut of information, from relations to dating to when your leader gets impatient. They're lacing the nation every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:30. The Social Norm Podcast, you heard me?
It's the social norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the social norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the social norm.
And I'm
What up, what up, what up, what up? Hey, it's your boy Canteen. This is my man Beans.
What's going on, y'all?
It's a social norm where we help nice guys become initiated into manhood. This is what it is today. Hey, today's episode, we're doing the top 10 reasons why the woman thinks you're a nice guy. Now, before I go ahead, fuck it. We're just getting right into it. I ain't even gonna play with y'all today.
All right.
Shout out to everybody on the podcast. Shout out to everybody watching in. You know what it is. Hey, first, number one, I gotta tell y'all, this is the first reason why they look at you as a nice guy. You tell them what they want to hear. Now, the reason I did this is because me and Beans, we both have been nice guys. And sometimes I think back about it and I'm like, man, I used to tell girls what they wanted to hear. And I didn't tell them what I wanted to really say. Now, why do we tell girls what they want to hear? Because we believe in our minds that actually this is how you get a girl. But the reality of the matter is you don't get a girl by telling her what she wants to hear, because what she wants to hear is fucking a facade. It's a Disneyland fucking fantasy that's not real. But if you told her what was real and yourself, she might actually respect you and look at you for who you really are. Now, let me ask you this. Have you had times where you literally like told girls what you wanted to hear? What they wanted to hear?
They want to hear? Yeah, I ain't going to hold you, man. I used to do that shit all the time. And it never works.
It never works because at the end of the day, it might work for a minute. Put my phone on silent. Sorry, y'all. It might work for a minute, but then eventually she sees right through that because you can't maintain the fantasy that you're giving her.
I was just about to say, you're not your authentic self.
No.
And
right now, this is where you got to get to. You got to get to a point where you can be your authentic self, and the good, the bad, and the motherfucking ugly. You ain't got to worry about, oh, is she going to be happy if I say this or say that? I've literally broken down trying to figure out the specific opener, the specific how I'm going to text this girl, how I'm going to go on dates with her, like trying to make her feel the best she could be. And it's not you. Okay? This is why she looks at you as a nice guy. All right? Let's go to number 2.
Well, you made a whole PowerPoint. All right.
Yeah, I did. Number 2, doing things for them that they don't deserve. How many of us have actually been out there and you give a girl something that you know she has not earned? She hasn't earned it. Why are you giving it to her? I don't know how many times I've had times where and it's simple stuff. Going and give her a ride, picking her up, doing things to where you know that's not genuine. That's not what you really want to do. But you're doing it because you don't want to make her mad.
Or you're expecting something.
Exactly.
I talked to somebody today who literally just told me, I just met this kid today, and he told me he had a thing with this girl. I guess there was some concert over the weekend, and he fought through all this traffic and stuff like that to get her. and he said he got her. He was expecting something from her, and she fell asleep on him.
So what do you mean? Like he never actually got to get to her?
And no, he got to her, gave her a ride, thinking he's gonna get some play, and he didn't get any. Like she said she literally like fell asleep like
Yeah.
in his arms. He was just like, this is some bull.
She got exactly what she wanted.
Yeah,
And you did everything, and you
and
didn't
he
get
got
what you
left
wanted
out.
because you're doing things for someone who doesn't actually deserve, because you haven't got anything that you desire, because you're doing things just to please somebody and you're not getting pleased in return.
Mhm.
And then let's give you another thing. Let's say she goes and does something disrespectful. Something you feel is disrespectful. Why would you reward her after she's done something disrespectful? See, what you're doing is you're teaching her that disrespect will be rewarded. And it doesn't work like that, fellas. You got to make sure she's trained. She has to know when everything she gets in the relationship is because she deserves it. She's earned it. That's the only way she'll respect it. All right. Let's go to number 3. You don't tell them what you actually want. Now, I can say this. This is a huge one for me because honestly, I've literally done this all the time where something in me that doesn't want to just say exactly what the fuck I want. Because you know why? You're scared that she's going to say, oh, this is all you want. You know, the typical, oh, all you want is sex. If that's all you want from her, be honest with her. Yeah, that's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
I want sex from you. If she doesn't like that, guess what? Let her go. But that's because you are so spun around that you need to have her in your life, or you need the approval of her, that you're actually not asking for what you want in life. Have you done that?
Oh yeah. I can't even see her. So far, I can't even see her.
Are you right now? We're on number. What are we on? Number 4? No, we're on number 3.
Number 3.
Are you 3 for 3 right now?
I am 3 for 3 right now.
And it's sad that we sit around and we don't ask for what we want, but then we wonder why
we don't get what we
don't
want.
get what we want.
Yeah.
See, women don't have a problem with asking for what they want, because sometimes I'm in awe of the arrogance that some women say, and hey, can you do this for me, or do that for me, or I need you to do this, and you literally are in shock because you're like, that what? I would never. Well, that's the reason you would never. You'll never get what you want because you don't ask for it.
Don't ask for it. They do. They learn that. They figure that part of the game out.
Women do not have no problem telling you, hey, I want you to take me to the fanciest restaurant in the city. I want you to buy me something that you know is outrageous, because that's what they want. So, fellas, don't get scared and get in your little shell to where you don't tell women what you want. If you want some pussy, tell her you want some pussy. If you want some dinner, you want her to cook you dinner, tell her that. I want you to cook me some dinner. She can't read your mind. Even though she knows you want sex, she wants you to go ahead and ask her. All right? It's that simple. It's not hard, but we have this blockade in our minds that, oh, well, if I ask this, I'm being too aggressive. No, you're not. You're getting what you want. And if she can't provide the things you want, guess what? You need to move on and go find somebody who can provide it for you. All right, step number 4. Well, not step number 4. The reason why, number 4, constantly seeking approval and validation from women. Now, this is what I wanted to say for the other 3, but this is the main reason why you are doing all these things in the first place. It's because you are trying to live your life through validation and approval from women. If you were to stop worrying about what women want, what women need, what women, do they like you? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they like you or not, because at the end of the day, as long as you like yourself, she'll like you.
That's true.
Because you are owning who you are.
And you can't expect someone to like you if you don't respect yourself and like yourself.
No.
So how can we expect that from them?
So I think the sooner you get out of being needing approval from a woman, the sooner you'll stop being a nice guy, and she'll stop treating you like a nice guy. But I digress. All right, number 5. You text too much and you're clingy. Now this is huge. I hear this from so many women that tell me, you know what, he's cool, but he's always fucking texting me. Matter of fact, I just talked to a girl recently, and she said the dude would text her. He would not only would he text her, but he'd call her when she wake up in the morning, when she get in her car to go to work, when she gets to work, when she's sitting in her office, and I mean, she probably ain't even been up 4 hours. The man called her 6, 7 times. You're too fucking clingy, bro.
Wow. Okay. I gotta say, I've never done that. I've never gone that far.
Why do you feel to constantly reassure, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm waiting in the wing. Hey, are you okay? Like, she's not going anywhere, bro, but she is when you keep being so clingy.
Mm-hmm.
You should be focused on you. You should be focused on what you're doing for you, not focused on, is she having a good day? Is she doing this? She should be longing for you to text her. She should be like, man, I wonder what he's doing. But because you're so in a feminine mode and you keep looking for, I gotta constantly make sure I'm here so I'm thinking of you.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why should you be thinking of her all the fucking time? See, this is what women want, but they don't want it. They want that's an ego thing. That's an ego thing. That's all it is. So stop wasting your time texting girls all day, every day. Stop being so clingy. Go find some shit you want to do for yourself. Because the clinginess is it's annoying for everybody.
It really is. By the time they do see you, they sick of you. they tired of you.
They not even sitting there asking what you've been up to, because they already know what you've been up to.
They know because you've been hounding them all day.
Like you gotta get with that, fellas. Y'all gotta go ahead and just find some shit to do. Go get better. If you know what you should do, if you gotta text a girl multiple times, go get butt ass naked, look yourself in the mirror, and do you think you look good? If you don't think you look good as hell, you need to take your ass to the gym and start working out. That's simple as that. Every time you start getting clingy with a girl,
I've always sent the one text out and then left it at that.
Yeah.
Wait for the answer.
You shouldn't even be, and this is another thing, you shouldn't even be double texting.
No.
If you text a girl something and she hasn't texted you back, don't think she sees it, bro. She sees it.
Especially nowadays, you can tell. Unless they don't open it up, but you can tell.
Well, that's when if you have an iPhone.
Yeah, if you have an iPhone, you can tell.
IPhone, so I can't tell, and it doesn't matter. The fact that I sent it, that's all that matters. Why would you care? The only thing you could do, and I don't even think you should do this, but the most you could do is text a girl one time. She doesn't respond, call her. If she doesn't answer the phone, that's it. It's over. There's nothing else you need to do. You don't need to do no damn smoke signals. You don't need to be paging her. You don't need to call collect. You don't need to do any of those things. You've done what you need to do. If she doesn't respond, guess what? There's probably 5 other guys that's doing the same thing, and you're bunched in that. If you want to stand out, stop worrying about her. Let her worry about you. The chasing of women is over. You need to let her chase you. All right.
Mm-hmm. I was like surprised at how many men. I realized how many men actually do that.
Yeah, because we're we're not focused on ourselves.
Yeah, I was like,
You're focused on pussy. You're focused on women. You're looking for validation through women, and you're never gonna get it until you validate yourself. 6, You put women on a pedestal, over idolizing, and their positive traits while overlooking their flaws. So what that means is you sit around and anything she does good, you just blow it the fuck up. Like, oh my god, it's so amazing. She cooks dinner.
I think you got
Go ahead.
okay. I really think a lot of men do this when they first meet a girl or when they like first get married.
Okay.
Like you said, I call it your nose wide open. You know what I mean? People can tell you this woman does this woman's like that,
Yeah.
and you are so blind to it because you're so in love with this woman
But
that you just don't.
you got to ask yourself, why are you so enamored by this woman? Is it because you feel so low about yourself that you're amazed that she actually likes a woman likes you? Is that why you're so enamored and so amazed by her? Because the reality is, if you love yourself and you look at yourself as a king, you wouldn't even be that impressed for the fact that certain things she does for you, because you would already be expecting those things in life.
Yeah, I'm actually guilty of that. Like I just overlooked a lot of things, and in the long run, it ended up making things worse.
Of course.
So that's why I try to tell people, like, look, if somebody shows you something, you know what I
Believe
mean?
'em.
Believe them. Like
Believe who
this,
they are.
that is who they are.
And the fact that you sit around and literally when she does something good, you're like, oh my God, this is what she does. But then when she does something bad, you try to justify it and downplay it. When she does something, she says something snickery to you that's disrespectful. She doesn't do something for you that you know that's something you would expect a woman to do. This is the one thing I'll say. When a woman does something that you don't like, there's this thing called the second date rule. All right. And what it is when a woman does something to you that you do not prefer, ask yourself, would you do, if she were to do this on the second date, would you have a third? If the answer is no, you need to address it immediately and let her know this is not, I'm not with what you just did. This won't be tolerated. Okay. And that way she understands this is not how we move in this relationship.
Okay.
So
Okay, I'm trying to congrats. So if you're out with a girl, she does something you don't like.
it's not even, I'm talking about anytime you're with her.
Okay, it doesn't matter when.
Anytime. And
And
she
then-
does something that you don't like. Think about it if you were on a second date with her. Like a lot of times you're with a girl and in the beginning she's showing you her best.
The best version.
But then
of her.
when you guys get in a relationship, she sits and slowly starts to do things that's disrespectful or something you do not like. Bring her back to the beginning stage. Treat her like this is a second date. And if she was to have done this on the second date, would you have continued talking to her?
Okay, I get it now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if somebody was to cuss you out on the first date, would you date her again?
No.
Okay,
never.
so why do you allow her to cuss you out and y'all been together for 3 years? See, a woman only gonna do what you allow her to do towards you. So that right there is the second date rule. Always apply that for anything when you see a woman doing something you do not like, and address it. Say, look, I'm not going to tolerate this. I don't like when you do this. Okay, and once she hears what you don't like, now this is how you solve that. When she does it, if she does it again, you don't yell at her. You don't scream at her. You don't hit her. You excuse yourself from her. You treat her as you guys are no longer, she's already chosen. You don't be with a woman that does this. So when she did what she did, she made her choice.
Okay.
She chose that she didn't want to be with you. So you let her go. You leave her alone. And then that lets her understand there's punishment for not obeying the rules. But you got to stop getting these women on a pedestal, dude. They're human beings. They breathe, they shit. This is another thing that I do, and I know y'all think it's weird.
I remember you told me that.
When you see a woman that you think is so-called out of your league, you look at her and you're like, man, her body is so cold. I can't fucking even fathom coming up and talk to her. Think about her taking a huge fucking shit. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna pedalize her to where she's a fucking human being.
I'm gonna say it humanizes her.
She farts, she burps, she fucking picks her nose. She does shit that everybody does. So don't go and make her, because she has fucking got the BBL and the fucking got eyelashes, extensions and hair extensions and makeup and nails to build herself to where she looks extra good. She's a human being, dude. That's it.
It's crazy because when the first time you told me, I'm gonna lie, I was like, this dude. Until I was at work and someone said, they didn't say her taking a dump. They was like, I just think of her farting, and then it just it brings her down.
It brings her down a peg, dude.
It is sad we got to do that to think of somebody. Farting is not negative. It's human nature, but
it's still not a pleasing thing to smell somebody else's
fart. Yeah.
So you got to get to a point where you're just like, hey man, you're a human being, and I'm not gonna tolerate from anybody, man or woman, disrespect, treating me less than. And this is the one thing I will say, and someone told me this a couple days ago. They say you'll treat yourself the best. Understand this.
Mm-hmm.
You're the only one who will treat yourself the best. What I mean is, if you think of yourself here, everybody's gonna have to treat you like to this level. You won't accept anything else because you treat yourself like this. But when you treat yourself like here, they're gonna treat you like here. So meaning you only can treat yourself the best. So wherever you feel about yourself and how you treat yourself, from dressing, from eating, from working out, from mental stimulation, mental stimulation to where you're reading, learning, being better. Stimulation.
Gotcha.
There we go. Thank you. All those things is based off of how other people are going to treat you, because that's how you treat yourself. See, when you dress bummy, when you eat horrible foods, when you don't work out, when you talk bad about yourself, when you do all those negative things, that's how other people are going to treat you, because that's how you treat yourself. They can't treat you like a god or a king or amazing person, because you don't treat yourself like that. It's in every fashion of yourself. You might think it's not a big deal. You'll say, well, I don't care that I eat fast food. Well, I don't care that. See, that's because you don't love yourself to the highest level. When you don't care about your body or your appearance or your mental state, why should anybody else care? All right. Let's get to the next one. Number 7. You think you're a victim in life instead of taking responsibility. Now, this is a big one. A lot of us have this victim mentality to where we think it's everybody else's fault for why we are where we are and why we're not where we're supposed to be in our minds.
Mm-hmm.
That's a victim mentality. You think women are the problem why they talk crazy to you. You think men or women are the problem because they don't go on second dates with you. You think women are the problem because every girl you've ever dated has mistreated you and treated you. No, Take responsibility for your own actions of why you are the way you are. Start doing something about it, and then always understand, fellas, it's always you.
Yeah.
It's not her. Women are reactive, they're not proactive. That's why men are leaders and women are the followers. Even when women try to act like they're the leaders, they're not. It's not in their nature. Okay, society has forced women to be leaders in some form, but they're not great leaders. Okay, they can do what they can do, but they can't be a true leader like men are because it's embedded in us. But only when you're focused on you and your purpose and being a real man. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be real hard to break out of this
Yeah.
because you've been grown up by women, you've been grown up by females and taught by females. So you haven't actually had a man show you how to be a man.
I had to learn this through my divorce.
Mhm.
Because we both know I always use this guy as an example. This guy I work with, he got divorced. He is the most bitter dude I've ever met in my life. He is
Okay.
to the point where love songs come on, it changes his whole mood. But when he talks about his ex-wife, it's always like he said,
She did this.
she did this, she did
that.
this, she did that.
You
And
never
I,
take accountability.
yeah, and I told myself, okay, I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be like
Right.
this.
Hold
guy.
on, hold on. Let me ask you this. What does that sound like? He did this, he did that. I never take accountability for what I did. Doesn't that not sound like a woman? So the fact that that even sounds like women, you are being a woman by doing that. And women see that. Women look at you when you talk to. I'm gonna give you another story real quick. Somebody I talked to, uh, a female told me, she said there was a guy she used to mess with, and we always like, man, I don't think you need to mess with him. I don't think you need to mess with him. But then what happened was this guy vented to her about another woman and told her what this woman's not doing, or she's this, she's that. That's the biggest problem you could ever do, is tell a woman about another woman.
Ooh,
You're not taking responsibility. And what she realized was, if he's dogging this woman,
he's gonna dog her.
why wouldn't he would dog me? He would do the same. So you don't go and it's always the man's fault. It's always, we got to understand the environment we're in. We blame women for things that it's out of their control. The reason women are so combative and so disrespectful is because men have allowed it. Men have been taught, oh, be nice, do this, listen, try to treat her the way she wants to be treated. All those things cause for a dynamic for women to be disrespectful and destructive. And we got to get to a point, fellas, to where we understand ourselves and understand what we're going to tolerate and what we're not going to tolerate.
Yeah. And when my friends, my married friends, when they would say stuff out, my first question always is, well, what did you do?
Yeah. And I used to get mad when I would say, well, why I always gotta be the one to do something?
Yeah, what did you do?
Because I think we all had the unspoken agreement and we all understood that women don't do things on their own. They don't. They don't come up with ideas.
Yeah, they
to just do something.
They don't just wake up one day and be a certain way.
And not for nothing, when they do come up with ideas, how bad are they? Like, how bad are their ideas? When you look at them, you're like, that don't even make sense. How do you like? My mother used to want to have certain things in the house.
Okay.
She would want to come up with little plans of, I want a garden, or I want this, or I want that. And sometimes my mom would literally I want something that to get into this house that physically could not fit through the
front
door.
door.
And it couldn't break down to where she could actually get in the house. So my father would try to explain this to her. But in her mind, she didn't want to acknowledge the physics of the house. All she wanted is what she wanted.
I want it in the house.
I want it, and I want.
I don't care how it
I don't
gets
know
in.
how it needs to get in. I don't, because she doesn't really. She's just coming up with ideas out the blue. She's not coming up with logical ideas. So I'm saying, fellas, understand that it's their nature to be reactive, not proactive, and come up with real ideas. You need to take control and be responsible for the role you play in all of that.
That's true. And when you do, I tell people, when you find yourself being mad and bitter about a situation, when you think back what you did to contribute to that.
What you're really mad about is the fact that you can't be a man and step up and say what you want and do what you want. She and we're gonna get into some more of this because, like I said, we're only on 7. Hey, right now, and I'm gonna tell you what I want. I want y'all to hit that like button, share, and subscribe to this channel. All right, because honestly, a closed mouth don't get fed. So I gotta tell y'all to go ahead and do that for us. You know what I mean? We appreciate everybody who hits that like button. Go ahead and do that now. But back to what we was talking about. You gotta take responsibility, fellas. That's your biggest problem, is you don't take responsibility in what role you play in all of the things. All right. And we'll get into more of that. So let's get into it. 8, you don't lead. You make sure everything is okay with her before you do it. This is oh my God, this is huge. So many married men always, I gotta ask my wife if we can do this. I gotta make sure she's okay with doing this. See, does that sound like a leader, or does it sound like she's leading?
Sounds like you gotta get her permission.
Like your mother.
Yeah, yeah, I was saying like you're the child.
So many men have become, all they done was replace their mother for a woman. And then you wonder why she doesn't respect you. She's not looking for a little boy. She's looking for a man to lead her. And the fact that you have to ask your wife or your significant other, or girlfriend, or whoever you're dating, let me see if she's okay with this. Let me see if she's okay with it. I'm not saying that, and a lot of people confuse it as, oh, well, you're being appreciative. You're being considerate. Considerate is, you can give her options. You know what I mean? So instead of just one way, you can say, hey, we're probably we're about to go get something to eat. It's either we can get tacos or we can go and get barbecue. Those are the choices. Which one would you prefer? See, you've already created the fact that's the appreciation. That's the consideration. I've given you multiple options of what I'm willing to eat.
Okay, yeah, we're going out.
We're going out. These are the 2 spots we can choose from.
Okay.
So now you've taken the lead of, this is the choice. This is the direction we're going. Pick which one you want. I've already established I'm good with both. And then once she says, oh, I don't care, now she's throwing it back onto you. You say, okay, we're going here. Okay. That's where consideration. But the fact of where do you want to go? No woman wants to hear that, because now you're letting her lead.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of the where you want to go.
Where do you want to go in everything? I'm telling you right now, in food, in vacations, in on the weekend, whatever. Women want to be on autopilot. They want to be told where to go, what to wear, and because at the end of the day, they are based off of feelings. So if you can create an arena, a stage to where now all she has to do is love her feelings. She doesn't have to sit there and think about where we're going or what we're doing. She can just enjoy it. That's what's gonna keep her around. That's because she needs that. She needs somebody to take her on autopilot so she can be a woman.
I can't tell you how many times in my marriage I've heard, I don't want to have to think about anything.
But when you sit there and say, "What do you want to do?"
I'm making her think.
You're making her
Yes.
be the man.
Yes, and like I said, that was my mistake.
And you sit there and say, "Well, why can't you make a decision? Why do you want her to make a decision?" That's what you need to ask yourself. You want her to be the man? You want her to wear the drawers? Okay, then go ahead and put that little skirt on and sit back, and she'll take you to wherever the hell she's gonna take you, which is a goddamn canyon to the ground and explode. Because she's not built to lead. And that's the thing you guys fail to realize. Women have put up aside. The government has put up aside to where we believe women are leaders. They're not. And it's okay. It's not demeaning to them. They have other things that we don't have. They're nurturers. They're caregivers. They're the glue that keeps everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you gotta, like I said, you gotta start taking the lead, fellas. Start taking the lead and never ask her, "Oh, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you think of?" Like, just make the decision and then say, "Look, this is the options we get to choose from." She will thank you. I promise you. When you go on trips, hey, we're gonna it's between Cancun or Brazil. Which
No,
one?
I can testify to that one.
Okay, go ahead.
When I first got married, right?
Mhm.
We were trying to decide about the honeymoon.
Oh, hold up. Oh, sorry. That's overtime.
Yeah, I know. And we were trying to decide about the honeymoon, and every time I was like, "Why don't we go on a cruise? Or why don't we do this? Why don't we do that?" It was no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do this. No, I want to do that. So finally, I stopped asking her. I said, "You just pack a bag, and we're gonna be here this day." And every time she would come back and ask where we going, or I was like, "Don't even worry about it.
Yep.
I got it. We forget it." So I understand the assignment now. Don't worry about it.
I took my mother on a trip to Vegas and I set up everything. I told my mom, all you gotta do is give me this amount of money. I booked the flights, I booked the hotel, I booked the shows, I booked the Ubers, I booked the travel arrangements. I booked everything. And then we went and had a great time. We went to LA and everything. After the trip, my mother was like, "I want you to know this was the best trip I've ever been on." And I said, "Why? Why do you say that? You've been on trips with my dad all the time." And she said, "Well, when I go on trips with your father, I have to set up everything. He doesn't set up anything because he doesn't really know how to do that, or he just, whatever the case may be."
Mm-hmm.
And my mom said, "For once, I got to just enjoy myself. I didn't have to think about what we need to get done." And I thought about this, and I always go back to this. My mother showed me right there, men have to take control. For her to feel her true pleasure, you have to take control of the situation. All right, let's get back into it. Number 9, you hide your true feelings and bottle them up inside. Now, this is a big one too, guys. A lot of times, fellas, we have times where we want to say something to her. We want to express how we're feeling, but we don't because we don't want to rock the boat.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like we're going to fuck up the vibe. We feel like, "Oh my God, well, she's doing good right now. I don't want to make her mad. And then she be pissed off at me." See, that's your biggest problem. You're worried about if she's mad at you. When you have something you need to say to her because you're mad about something, you're mad at her. And you don't even see it. The fact that you can't express yourself, you tell me that doesn't piss you the fuck off? That don't make you mad that you can't even express how you're feeling or how she makes you feel because you're allowing it to happen?
I think a lot of married men do this.
Is that not the biggest bitch moment right there? When you think about it, is that not really being the biggest bitch? You're silencing yourself. Things that, and I'm gonna be honest, women, in other countries do, where they don't speak on stuff because they know, look, this is a man right here that let her. We have been flipped the script to where we don't express ourselves, but we let women express themselves all the time, which I think everybody should express themselves.
Yeah.
But don't be scared and hold things inside, because when you hold things inside, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out, and that's gonna be. And I'm gonna show you this. Let's just go ahead and jump onto number 10. When it does, when you do let it out, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna be overly emotional. Now you look, you're gonna be overly emotional because you've let it get to a point where it's a huge deal now. It should have been addressed when it was a little inkling of a situation. And you could have said, hey, don't do that. I don't like when you do that. That makes me feel uncomfortable. Whatever the case may be, you could have said it right then, but you don't say it and you let it stem and build up momentum. And then when you finally do say it, I just told you don't do that.
Yeah.
Now she's like, why are you fucking screaming?
Yeah. Now you look crazy and you look stupid.
And you look like a bitch. You look like a female.
Oh my God.
Because you're sitting around freaking out over something that really, this is her first time hearing you have an issue with it, because you are a little girl and you can't speak up for yourself. But then you want her to treat you like a man. But then you want her to look at you with respect and awe and prestige. She's not going to do that because you don't see yourself like that. Until you see yourself like a man that is, and this is why we said in the last episode, and go back and watch it, you have to think about what type of man you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then figure out who out of the world is those type of men and follow them. Because until you look at yourself, because if you're not getting respect, you don't look at yourself in a respectful way. You don't carry yourself in a respectful way. You don't speak up for yourself, and you sit there, and then when you finally do speak, you're freaking emotional. You're flipping out, and you look out of control. And nothing worse than a man that's out of control. That's a dangerous man. So these are the top 10 things, man. Why the woman doesn't look at you as a real man. She looks at you as a nice guy. And until you fix these things, you're going to always be a nice guy. And you're going to always get taken advantage of. And you're going to always not feel like you're getting the most out of life because you're not being your true self. So go back, watch this video over and over if you have to figure out what you do. I guarantee you, I've checked off at least 5 or 6 things that I've done before in this list.
I got about 8.
So
there's only about 1 or 2 I haven't done.
Go back, write them down, figure out why you are the way you are, which you already know what it is because you don't love yourself. You don't look at yourself, and you don't take the steps to build yourself up. Start building yourself up today and stop worrying about what women are doing. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we get up out of here?
No, I'm good for today, man.
That's it, man. We're going to keep it nice and short and sweet. Y'all put in the work, man. It ain't going to come itself. It ain't going to come by you just wanting it. You actually got to put in some work and start implementing things to where you can become the man you want to be and stop being the nice man, nice guy, bitch you are right now. Hey, man.
Pretty aggressive today. All right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm your boy Canteen. This is my man Beans.
Y'all have a good week.
Also, go ahead and hit that. The link's right there to go ahead and donate to the channel because you know that's what I wanted to tell you, and that's what you're gonna do. All right. That's it. Ain't no more I gotta say. Y'all have a what's today?
Today is Monday.
Today's Monday. Don't let the man beat you up too much. Cause we're on the road as not being a nice guy no more, all right? I'll fuck with you. Peace.
Daddy.